Yes, the road trip is over, and I just want to thank all of you who hung out with me and checked out those video update things I was doing on the road. I wasn't sure if I could pull them off, but we did, and that was pretty cool. The trip was profound in so many ways. A lot of things I did were just amazing, like the Rounder Records show with my friend Nathan and his family. We backstage at the Grand Ole Opry with people like Irma Thomas and Henry Butler and Alison Krauss, and it's just a very cool thing to do. And I want to thank those guys for that. You can check out more pictures like these at Nathan's website, zydecochachas.com. And once again, if you've never seen Nathan, you owe it yourself to check him out. That's going to be aired on PBS in March, and you can see the crowd went wild. They loved him, and you will too. As the trip went on, we went into South Carolina to see Roy C. Did a couple other things that we'll be talking about later on. Worked my way down into the Panhandle there to see Papa Don, which was just an amazing story. His stuff he's working on now will knock your socks off. He's still active, and he's still an incredible guy despite the throat cancer he has. Like he says, he talks kind of funny, but he's still in the game, and that's really cool. The Benny Spellman thing, it just broke my heart, you know. Here's a guy that I've venerated all these years, and that voice is just a unique part of the whole thing. And he's been in a nursing home a long time. I'm so blessed to have been able to go see him. And that's the kind of thing I was trying to do, is reconnect with these guys, you know, at the end of the road here, and tell them that we really appreciate what it is they did, and they'll never be forgotten. And he was so glad to see me, man. And then, as you know, I picked up Lattimore, and I went to see another person in a nursing home there, Tommy Tate. Another, you know, heartbreaking story, a guy who was so great, now confined to that place. But I gave him your regards, and he's doing okay. The reunion of Lattimore and Sam Baker was just incredible, huh? They hadn't seen each other in 35 years at least, and I thought that was really cool. We pulled that off, and that was a surprise to Lattimore. He had no idea. And then we moved on to Clarksdale, which was just crazy, and then to Memphis, and Memphis was incredible. We met some people we hadn't met before, and did some research, which you'll be hearing about down the line. We also got to hang out, as you saw, with Daryl Carter and Howard Grimes with Lattimore, and boy, that was really cool. Those guys are the greatest, and just, you know, opened up the house to us, and we hung out and listened to music and had a great time. Haven't heard from the last from those guys, that's for sure. Then, while I was still in Memphis, I followed through on something I had been wanting to do since the O.V. Wright memorial concert we had down there, was spend more time with his sister, Ada Bell Wright, McWright, who was just great, and was kind enough to open her home to me and talk to me about the early days of O.V. and his switch from gospel to secular music, and how, you know, how she loved her baby, and that was really cool. When I first knocked on the door of Royal Studio down in Memphis a few years ago, it was Julius Bradley who let me in and showed me around the place and introduced me to a whole world I didn't know existed. That's where I met Willie Mitchell, and kind of changed my life. And anyway, Julius is ill. He's had surgery for a brain tumor. The cancer spread a little bit. He's had chemotherapy, but he's doing okay. He's on the mend, and thanks to my friend Sylvester Sauter, otherwise known as Blade, I was able to meet with my friend Julius while I was in Memphis, and it was great to see him, and great to see that he is getting better. You can check out some of his music on Holy Ghost. I don't know if you have, but he's we'll be talking more about him in the days to come. He's great. Blade also made it possible for me to get in to see Willie Mitchell. Willie contracted pneumonia after the hip replacement surgery he had recently, and he has been doing well. He's staying at the home of his grandson in a hospital bed, and I was able to speak with him and tell him, or try to tell him, how much he means to all of us, and that Memphis wouldn't be the same without him, so he better get better. So he told me he's going to keep fighting, so I'm sure you'll join with me in wishing him a speedy recovery. And let's keep our fingers crossed, say a little prayer. So as you saw there, I was able to get back to Nashville with Lattimore and reconnect with some of the people he used to work with on Jefferson Street. Sadly, Johnny Jones wasn't able to make it. But the rest of the people there were wonderful. Chuck Shellman, bought us lunch. Thank you, Chuck. And the rest of the people we met up there, Marion James House, Clifford Curry, Jimmy Church, Billy Cox. Very good to see all those people again for Lattimore. And, the whole point of this trip was to lift him up a little bit. He's just a special guy. Lattimore's 78. The rest of those musicians we met with in Nashville just turned 70, pretty much. And they used to hang out with Lattimore. Lattimore was their mentor. Lattimore was the king of that whole scene. And that's what I wanted to try to point out to everybody, is that this is one special guy. So Lattimore gets on that bus and goes back to his life, and I come back to mine. And the road trip's over. But we had us a good time, and we did what we set out to do. Reconnecting with some of his old friends and let him know that there's people out here that still care about him. I know I do, and I hope you do too. And so, we'll see you next time here on the Red Kelly program. Thanks a lot.